Peace. Welcome to the YouTube live book reading of Animals Speak by Ted Andrews. Learn the language of the animals, the spiritual and magical powers of creatures, great and small. I'm your moderator and narrator, Uriel Riley. Highest Heart Love. Welcome to this corner of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters and breathe in peace. No worries. We release all that through our breath, which is the lesson of the lungs. Where we pick up at is page 284. This is so beautiful. Lynx. We're in the Dictionary of Animal Totems. Master Ted Andrews. Animal Speak. Keynote for the lynx. Secrets and vision of the hidden and unseen. Cycle of power. Winter. Peace, peace, highest heart love, YouTube. Much love and honor. Thank you for reading books with us. Peace, peace. Thank you, Coco. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gratitude. Lynx. This energy is so magnificent. Peace. Top of page 284 of Animal Speak. Much of the information concerning the bobcat also applies to the lynx. Both animals are similar, and the bobcat was sometimes referred to as the red lynx. Both have short, stubby tails, tufted ears, and a ruff about the face. The lynx is chunky and muscular. It has long legs and big furry paws that serve as snowshoes during the winter. The lynx is also found further north, and its territory is not nearly as widespread as the bobcat. For anyone with the lynx as a totem, also study the significance of the northern direction. Peace, highest heart love. Thank you. This is big, right? Big time medicine. Its facial ruff gives the lynx an aristocratic appearance, still abundant in Alaska and Canada. They are starting to make a comeback in other northern parts of the country. The lynx has no trouble maneuvering in the snow. Its feet are wider than those of its relative, the bobcat. Lynx kittens are usually born with blue eyes. After about 2 months, the blue eyes turn to the yellow, like the mother's. The blue hints of expansiveness of the sky and heavens, open to the lynx from birth. The transition of the yellow reminds us that the lynx can draw knowledge from the heavens. The mother teaches the young to hunt. Summer and fall is spent in passing on the skills. These skills will be needed as winter approaches, for by late winter, the family breaks up and the lynx go on their way, seeking out their own life and knowledge. The main prey of the lynx is the snowshoe hare. On its wide feet, it is able to pursue the hares, even when the snow is piled deep. It will feed on smaller rodents, but the snowshoe or hare is its main diet. And The qualities of it should be studied as well. So closely is the fate of the lynx tied to that of the hare, that when the hare population plummets during a regular 11-year cycle, so does that of the lynx. The 11-year cycle is very symbolic. From a metaphysical standpoint, 11 is a master number. It is associated with the inspiration and revelation, mysticism, and occult teachings. The fact that the lynx is a gray color also adds to the significance. The gray is the symbol of the cloud that hide the ancient wisdom that separates the seen from the unseen. The lynx is the animal whose powers enable it to cross back and forth and draw out knowledge and secrets from behind the clouds. The lynx has connections to mythology and occult groups in history. These links, no pun intended, can provide clues to possible past lives. In the Scandinavian and Norse traditions, the lynx was sacred to Freya, and her chariot was sometimes depicted being drawn by lynx. The Greeks believed that the lynx could see through solid objects, X-ray vision. In fact, it is named for Lysias, a mythological character who could also do this. In 1603, Italian scholars formed the Academy of Lynxes, dedicated to the search for truth and the fight against superstition. Galileo was a member, and its symbol was that of the lynx, tearing Cerberus with its claws. Cerberus guarded the entrance to the underworld. The implications was that knowledge would conquer darkness and suffering. Are you catching that? Ding! The lynx has acquired the reputation for supernatural sight. Supernatural eyesight. It has been attributed with the ability to see error, falsehood, secrets, and all that is hidden. If a lynx has shown up in your life, look for that which is hidden. Trust your instincts in believing others. The things you imagine are probably more accurate than you think. No matter how strange or how irrational the imaginings, it probably has core of truth. Lynx has the ability to teach you how to know the inner workings of others. Jamie Sams and David Carson refer to it as a special type of clairvoyance in which you see that which people hide from others and themselves. This may this may be fears, activities, and even abilities. Individuals with lynx as a totem need to be very careful about breaking confidences. Things said have a greater potential of being made public or distorted, so words must be chosen and used cautiously. Strength through silence should be the motto. The breaking of confidences usually brings quick and strong repercussions. If Lynx has shown up in your life, you will find that other people increasingly share their secrets, taking you into their confidence. Yes. You will accidentally discover things about people, and some of it you may not wish to know. You don't have to do anything with the knowledge. Hold on to it. Use it for your own benefit. Be careful of sharing it inappropriately. It is not unusual to find that some people will become very uncomfortable around you. On some level, they will recognize that you can see within them. When they avoid you, trust what you imagine to be the reason. To help you awaken the Lynx's ability to see hidden knowledge, sit back and watch. As you observe how people behave and what they say, you will also get to images of things behind them. Visualize yourself inside the other person. In many ways, the Lynx medicine is like an X-ray vision. You are able to see the inner workings. Learn to go into silence. Trust what images and knowledge come to you from it. Peace. Lynx. Who has a Lynx totem? Ooh, that is so powerful. Lynx energy. Hi, it's Heart Love. Welcome all for being here. Animal Speak. Learn the language of the animals. By Ted Andrews, Master Ted Andrews. We're in the great chapter 13, Dictionary of Animal Totems. Now, Lynx, medicine. That was after the lion medicine. Thank you so much, Coco. Hello, Shun. This is big. Top of page 286. Yes. The corner of YouTube where we learn from masters, read books, embody the energy of the light workers. I'm Master Uriel Neville Riley, and I'm a master fitness trainer and a father, a poet of this time, born in 79. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for reading books and being in the frequency of peace. Gratitude and highest heart love, YouTube. Moose. Woo! Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Shukran. Dankeschön. Mbutu. Yes, this channel is a part, as you can tell, right? Pine cone energy. Highest frequency. Thank you so much to Yellow Brick Media, keeping us in harmony on this beautiful first day of the week, Sunday. Moose. Animal Speak. Dictionary of Animal Totems. Thank you. Gratitude. Highest heart love. Keynote. Primer. Feminine energies and the magic of life and death. Cycle of power. Late fall and early winter. November, the time of approaching shadows. The moose is one of the most ancient and most unique of the power totems. That's right. To the Aloquin, Indians, it was known as Mongsoa, or twig eater. To the Athabascan Indians of Alaska, it is Deniga. To the latter, there was a tremendous relationship between raven and moose. The Athabascan hunters would protect the talk constantly on their hunts to raven, who they knew helped shape the world. They would pray to raven to assist in hunt for moose. Thus, when a moose appeared, it was special, sacred gift. For anyone who aligns the moose, no matter how it may occur, a unique and sacred energy is open. The moose is an animal of contradictions. It is strange and yet majestic. It seems awkward, but there is a tremendous gracefulness to it. Yes. While it makes us smile, it also causes us to catch our breath. Those with moose as a totem will find these same contradictory feelings stirred in others about them, except during mating season. It is predominantly solitary animal with a unique ability to make use of its territory, whether it be lake, pond, grassy plains, unique or spruce forest. Those with this as a totem, it's a power animal, have the same ability. The moose has an uncanny ability to camouflage itself in spite of its great size and power. It uses this ability to its advantage. Those who would align with moose can also develop this ability. Part of this involves ancient magic of invisibility, but it also involves an aspect of shapeshifting. Oh my gosh. Guys, you start to see the patterns, right, in nature, right? Camouflage, brown, black, right? Come on, guys, come on. I'm giving you all the dots to connect. That's why I read these books all through the playlist. Connect the dots. La 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 la. Connect the dots. Straight up. That's what this YouTube, and we do it in peace. You know, that's what this YouTube channel is for. And the more you guys share and revel in this energy and read with us, the more it's just echoing to everyone. And then they can put it together in their heads like, oh, wait, yeah, that makes sense. That's how I got here. The abilities. Revel in that peace. Use this, all of it. That's what it's here for. That's what I'm here for. You know, I don't get paid for this. And it uses this ability to its advantage. Those who would align with moose can also develop this ability. Part of this involves the ancient magic of invisibility, but it also involves an aspect of shapeshifting. This unique shapeshifting camouflage is reflected in the life of the historical Merlin, when he was summoned by kings or needed desperately to recruit other allies, he came silently, disguised as a poor shepherd, as a woodcutter, or a peasant. Even sovereigns failed to recognize him in his various disguises. He practiced this concealment habitually, Despite the size of the moose, it does have a unique ability to move silently and speedily. Its appearance of ungainliness is misleading and deceptive. It is this deception which enables it to survive so well. One reason for their ability to do this is that they have excellent depth of perception. They can accurately judge the negotiability of an area. The moose has a speed and grace of negotiating territory that others could not. It can move through great depths of snow and through marshes that would trip up many others. This same ability can be strengthened and awakened and even taught to those who align with the medicine power of the moose. The moose is often associated with feminine energies. The maternal forces of the world, and those who align with the moose will find these forces awakened. Part of this revolves around the association with water. Water is the primal symbol of the feminine forces of the universe. It is the symbol of creativity and dynamic forms of intuition and illumination. The Penobscot Indians of Maine relate tales of how the moose once was the whale, the greatest mammal of the waters. The Micmacs of Nova Scotia tell how when the moose is too persistently hunted, it returns to the sea. The association with the water and sea is important to understand for anyone who aligns with the moose power. The sea is the point from which all life comes and to which all life returns. It is the great womb of the universe. The moose is often seen in marshy areas and standing in lakes. They also have a unique ability to plunge to the bottom of lakes and can remain there feeding for up to a full minute before surfacing in a burst with fresh greens dangling from their mouths. For those who want to work with the full mystery of moose power, this should be carefully studied and meditated upon. It reflects the ability of the individual to learn to go back into the depths of draw new life and nourishing from it. The moose can teach the ability to move from the outer world to the inner. It can teach how to cross from life to death and back to stronger life. It teaches how to use the thin thread that separates life and death to one's advantage. It is not unusual to find individuals with strong moose medicine working in soul retrieval. This aspect of working with life and death and the energies and life forms on both levels is reflected through a sacred tradition of the Athabascan Indians. To these people, potlatch is a memorial ceremony to help dispatch the spirit of the dead. The belief is that when people die, they do not leave right away. That's right. They stay nearby, and so food is burned for them to eat. At first, it is once a day, then every other day, then once a week, and so for a year. At which time a memorial potlatch is served. This potlatch involves a sharing of special food, particularly moose head is served. Mm. The service then sends the spirit on. Moose soup is sacred because it is not always available. This service then sends the spirit on, and this reflects much about the inherent mediumship and the ability to work with the spirits of the dead by those who align with the moose medicine and energy. Moose people can learn to go into the icy waters of the void, death, and come back out. Another reason for its association with the primal mother feminine energies of the universe is because the female moose is extremely protective of its young. Very few creatures will ever challenge a female moose with its calf. There is a great maternal energy that has a primal strength to it. Moose also have a highly developed sense of smell and a highly developed sense of hearing. The sense of smell has its spiritual or metaphysical counterparts in the emotional idealism and spiritual discernment. The hearing lends to the human the abilities of clairaudience and spiritual comprehension. When moose aligns with an individual, which is usually how it happens, rather than the individual aligning with a moose, the individual should pay more attention to that inner voice and that sense of smell. Do things not smell or sound right, even if you can't define why? Trust those feelings, for they have and will define themselves shortly. Moose calves are also born with their eyes open, which is very significant. Ding! Wow. Feel and breathe that in. Animal Speak by Ted Andrews. The spiritual and magical powers of creatures great and small. Learn the language of the animals. That was a big ding moment. Moose calves are also born with their eyes open, which is very significant. Most of those who are open and resonant with moose medicine came into this world with their inner eyes already open. It is not unusual to find such individuals getting discouraged when they work to click on those inner lights, as so many others describe their own awakening psychic and intuitive capabilities. These individuals must understand that they came in with their inner lights already on, so there will be no clicking. Learning to trust what they so often think is simply the imagination, etc., is part of the task of maturing into full moose power. If a moose calf lives through its first month, it will most likely survive to become an adult. This reflects much about the lives of those whose moose aligns with. It is not uncommon to find those with moose medicine having had their most difficult and sometimes traumatic lessons in life during their childhood. The survival through this reflects the innate ability to draw from the creative powerful and force of the feminine waters of life to strengthen and sustain them. The two most powerful parts of the moose are the paws, which will cut like a knife, and the antlers, which are both decorative and defensive. The head and the feet. These two areas are parts of the body most sensitive in those of moose medicine. Feet, reflexology, and head, neck, and upper back massages are important to release stress. I would imagine, although no research has been done on this, that the cranial sacral work would facilitate healing and release most beneficially for those of moose medicine. Along with health lines, the moose is herbivorous, and this says much about the dietary needs of those who would truly align with its power. This does not mean that one should become a vegetarian, but rather that it should be a strong part of the diet. It also reflects that the body will respond most strongly to herbal alternatives rather than traditional chemical medicines. You cannot discuss the power of the moose without also discussing its antlers. Their antlers are the largest of all antlered animals. Antlers are ancient symbols of antenna, of crownings that activate the upper chakras of the head. Only the male of the species grows antlers, unless there is a hormone imbalance in the female. Maybe this reflects the idea that the male must attune even more strongly through these antlers, unless there is a hormone imbalance. Mhm. More strongly through these antennae to the intuitive promptings. The rubbing of the antlers to remove the velvet covering has a lot of significance as well. It reflects the need to massage the head area to release the past, for the antlers are shed every year. The moose is a symbol of the sexual energies as well. The sexual energy is a physical reflection of the primal creative energies. That energy has its cycle within the body and within the rhythms of the year. Autumn is the power time of moose, and the late October and November especially is the month for honoring the moose. The hunting season is over. The mating is being completed, and a new cycle is about to begin. For those of the moose medicine, the autumn is a powerful time. The smell of dry leaves, the sound of their crunch as they are walked upon, touches a primal core, stirring life forces anew within the individual. In many ways, it is aligned with the Samhain, All Hallows Eve, All Saints' Day, harvesting rituals, and all the traditional energies associated with this season. The moose has always been a powerful omen. When it appears in dreams, it reflects a long, good life. It was known to give strength, and more than one Indian tribe believed that you could travel 3 times as fast and 3 times as long after a meal of moose. The mystical significance of 3 should not be bypassed here. It is the creation, the new child born from the womb of the mother. The hoof was known as a cure of epilepsy. Moose was known to banish headaches and dizziness, and moose medicine was also considered the antidote for a snake bite. The moose has no enemy that it fears other than the grizzly bear, but even then it can outrun and outswim it. Its maneuverability and intuition, along with its highly developed senses, sustain it. Almost all northern Indian tribes have legends and tales of the moose, reflecting its universality and its great mysticism. The Menominee of Wisconsin even had a moose factory or clan at one time. The Dog Rib Indians south of the Arctic Circle near Great Bear Lake and Great Slav Lake, speak of Hata, Hata, a 2-year-old moose who was the cleverest of all northern animals and who helped create the Rocky Mountains. When moose comes into your life, the primal contact with great feminine force and void of life is being awakened. It is an invitation to learn to explore new depths of awareness and sensitivity within yourself and within your environs. Page 289 in the lower middle. Let's continue, shall we? That was moose medicine. We have to wake that up. That was so powerful. Thank you, Ted Andrews. Thank you. Being able to go to the depths of the water and bring back out nourishment. Yes. Being able to go where others can't go. That's what the mountaintops show us. When I got to every peak of mountain, whether it was in Istanbul or Boyut, in the largest island of the Turkish islands, whether it was the Santa Monica Mountains or the Backbone Trail, it was so small up there. There's only room for so many. Yeah, it's just the way it is. But when you go there, you know now. And knowing is 75% of the battle. Now you know. There's lines there. There's other footprints there, and we honor them. $289. Mouse. Woo! This is so big. Guys, mouse energy. Remember, see, I grew up 79. There was superheroes for everything, to show us the ways of the superheroes. And so that's all I inspired ever was to continue to be a superhero. Like I wanted to be like Jesus. I wanted to heal the people. I wanted to, like mighty mouse energy. What? Come on. Superheroes unite till all is one. Mouse. Attention. This is big. Mouse. Keynote. Attention to detail. Cycle of power. 5 to 6 week cycles. How deep does that get? Come on, guys. Woo! Animals Speak. Learn the Language of the Animals by Ted Andrews. Master Ted Andrews. The power of mouse. There are many kinds of mice. Most have certain qualities in common. These will be examined in this section, along with a specific look at the common deer mouse, also called the wood mouse or white-footed mouse. The deer mouse has big eyes and ears and has white gloves on its feet. Most mice are nocturnal, but this is especially true of the deer mouse. Bing! Nocturnal again. It sees well in the darkness, but in sunlight it will act somewhat blind. This is not true of other mice. The deer mouse will nest in abandoned squirrel or bird's nests, hollow logs, cracks, and crevices. Its nest will often be globe-shaped, and the entrance will have a plug or door, which can be closed for warmth. The male and female work together to remodel the nest. Most mice change their nest often. The deer mouse is fastidious about keeping its fur cleaned and groomed. This is not so with the more drab house mouse. The deer mouse is good about its appearance, but it is a sloppy housekeeper. This reflects that for those with a mouse totem, there will be areas in which fastidiousness and attention to detail is highly concentrated, while in other areas there may be neglect. This paradox is often a source of confusion and sometimes irritation to those who live and work with mouse people. Most mice store food as well as search out food all year round. The deer mouse eats seeds, berries, and bark, and is less destructive than the meadow mouse in regard to farmers' crops and grains. All predators feed on mice. To compensate for this, mice will have 3 or 4 litters a year. They survive because of their numbers. The deer mouse mother, as with most mice, will care for the young about 5 weeks. Then the young are on their own. Because of this, if a mouse has come into your life, its energies will be most strongly felt for about 5 to 6 weeks. When the mouse shows up as a totem, this is either time to pay attention to details or an indication that you cannot see the forest for the trees. Mm. You may be getting so locked into details that you forget the big picture. As you ask yourself some important questions, are you taking care of the trivial but necessary things in life? Are you getting so lost in the big dreams that you are neglecting other aspects of your life? Are you becoming so focused on one or two activities that you are neglecting to see other opportunities? Are you missing what is right in front of you? Is there something obvious that you are missing or need to focus on? Are you trying to do too many things at once and thereby scattering your energies? Mouse medicine can show you how to focus and pay attention to detail. It can show you how to attain the big things by working on little things. Whenever mouse shows up, there are lessons associated with attention. Powerful. Woo! Guys, and gals, gentle women. Oh my goodness, Ashe. Attention to detail. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is powerful medicine. Mice medicine. Oh my goodness. We have to breathe with that. We have to breathe with that. Just for a second. This is the first day of the week. This is how we start everything else off. Let's breathe with that. Come on. Thank you. Gratitude. Highest hope. Merci. Thank you. Love you. Love you. Oh, that's so I love you. So, one more. I told you we at least do more than the usual today because I left off yesterday. I love you guys so much. Exactly why I do this. The highest heart love. Peace. You know, thank you for the likes and subs. We're pushing to 500, guys. This is amazing. This part of YouTube where we just are peaceful, you know? Where we be ourselves, breathe in this energy. Superheroes of the world uniting and reading. The Real Healers. Page 290. At the bottom. This is big because this just came to me yesterday evening. And I'll post that, okay? I'll post it. Opossum. just yesterday. If you guys follow me on IG, I pushed it to my stories. Guys, follow me on IG, Real Well Uriel. You can go there. That's the real. That's my first IG. I do have three others: the You're Healing Uriel and also Uriel Neville. So those are my Instagram tags. I posted it on my story. Opossum just walked right up to me because I'm in. I told you I'm in a peaceful. I've cultivated a peaceful, aura and energy for a long time doing this work. Just walked right up to me. Keynote: the use of appearances. Cycle of power. Spring. Bottom of page 290. The number of years ago, a number of years ago, when my workshops were just beginning to grow in popularity, an individual in the metaphysical field was spreading rumors about me among certain groups to undermine my work. Apparently, he felt threatened by the increasing attention I was receiving. After a workshop one evening, several people spoke to me about what was being spread around about me. I remember I remember fuming all the way home. I couldn't believe that this person would make up such stories. After all, we had done some traveling together, and I had supported them. I knew that I was going to have to confront this person. When I got home and raised my garage door, my headlights flashed on a pair of eyes in the back of the garage. An opossum had taken up temporary shelter. I got a broom and tried to unsuccessfully to sweep it out. Finally, I left the garage door open, hoping it would leave on its own, and went into the house, temporarily distracted from my fuming. About an hour later, I went outside to check the garage, and the opossum had disappeared. I drove the car into the garage and pulled down on the garage door. It only moved about 5 inches and then locked. I pulled it again and it still locked. Since it was dark, I couldn't tell if the runners on which it sat were jammed or that what was going on. Finally, I grabbed the handle with 2 hands and yanked at it as hard as I could. The door freed and came down, and as it did, the opossum tumbled on top of my head. I must have jumped 6 feet. I don't know who was scared worse, me or the opossum. Apparently, it had climbed on top of the garage door and was lodged in halfway and hindered the closing of the door. It left rather abruptly after bouncing off my head and hitting the ground. It appeared as dazed and unhurt as I was. I tried to get my heart started again. I began laughing as I walked back into the house. My anger from the earlier that evening was dissipated. It was then I decided to not respond. I would just appear to play dead or ignorant to the rumors. Within several weeks, the rumors had ceased, and numerous phone calls reaffirmed that I had responded appropriately. No one was believing the rumors, and my invitations to teach and lecture increased even more. Opossum teaches us how to use appearances. Sometimes it is necessary to play dead. Sometimes it is necessary to put up a particular front to succeed most easily and effectively. This is what the medicine of the opossum can teach. It also can show you when others are putting up false fronts and deceptions. Opossum has an archetypal energy that helps us to use appearances to our greatest benefit and can help us to recognize when others are creating false impressions. Opossums can help us to learn to divert attention or to get attention any way we need. Sometimes it is necessary to behave or act in a strategic manner. We may need to appear fearful or fearless in spite of how we truly feel. We may need to show submission or aggression. We may need to be apathetic or extremely caring. Opossum is the supreme actor, and those in the acting field or that need to learn something of it can do no better than to work with the opossum. The opossum is a nocturnal animal. It is the only marsupial on the North American continent. Marsupials are animals that raise their young in the pouch of their abdomen. When the young are born, they are blind, but they are still able to climb into the pouch immediately after birth. There they stay for about 1 month. Ding! During the spring, I often stop and check opossums hit and on the road. There may be young in the pouch if it is a female opossum. The young can live for a while in the pouch even after the mother has died, but only for a short while. In the pouch are located the nipples. Most opossums have 13 nipples. Ding! In litter, there can be many more than 13 young, but only 13 will be able to survive. This number is very symbolic. Although many associate it with bad luck, it is also a symbol for the one great sun around which the 12 signs of the zodiac revolve. It is a symbol of the sun within. The pouch, especially in regards to the opossum's defense of playing dead, links it to the ability to help us draw from our own bag of tricks that which will most benefit us. It can show you which appearance to draw from the pouch to use for the greatest success. The milk of the mother is rich in calcium, as young opossums need high concentrations of it. Those with this totem should examine their own calcium levels. The playing dead that the possum is famous for is a self induced state of shock. The pulse becomes minimal, the heartbeat slows, a musk scent of death is released, and for all appearances, it will seem dead. The opossum can enter and leave this state abruptly, pretty much at will. This act serves to confuse many predators. The surprise distracts them, and the opossum is able to make its escape. It is this kind of flexibility and ease of appearance that the opossum can teach those with this as a totem. When opossum shows up as a totem, ask yourself some important questions. Are you acting or about to act in an inappropriate manner? Do you need to strengthen your own appearance? Are others putting up false appearances in front of you? Do you need to divert attention away from some activity? Are others trying to divert your attention? Is it time to go into your bag of tricks and pull out some new strategy? Learning to pretend and act in ways and with realism is the magic that opossum teaches. Wow, wow, wow. This is so good. Oh my goodness. Peace, everyone. Hi, it's Heart Love YouTube. I told you I was going to do more, right? I'm one of those people that is dependable. Always have been. It's part of one of my traits, right? Speaking of totems, like my brother, my older brother. I have a lot of brothers, but my older brother is a mod. Yes, Marquise. Dedicating this one to you because I know you're going to see it. Highest heart love as we continue. Ted Andrews, Animal Speak. I told you I do what I want. I'm the king of my world. I'm the master of my world. I live in peace. And I want to read to you. I love to read to you. It's just a sacred day. Yeah. Whenever we can honor people, our real life, it's always a great day. That's how I feel. Real life matters. That's what my YouTube is for. Real life matters. You heard it here. Top of page 293. Otter medicine. We're in overtime. Keynote, joy, playfulness, and sharing. Cycle of power, spring and summer. I love you. The otter amuses and fascinates most humans. Their playful expressions and activities capture our imaginations. Whether a sea otter or the river otter, there is a natural, joyful curiosity about them. Once on a canoe trip in northern Ontario, Canada, a river otter popped up, and about 10 feet from the front of the canoe. It raised itself up out of the water and peered over its nose, as if curious as to who would be up so early and coming into its playground. It would dive and disappear and then reappear off to one side or other, as if trying to size up the situation from every angle. When its curiosity was satisfied, it dived and disappeared, going about its own activities. Otters often awaken curiosity. They remind us that everything is interesting if we look at it from the right angle. They are playful and seem to have fun at whatever they're doing. Otters always have their homes close to the water. During the summer, they are rarely on land, especially river otters. They usually have a large home territory around and in the water, and they usually mark their homes with a scent. Their connection to the water links them to the primal feminine energies of life, especially the pleasurable aspects of the feminine creation, imagination, joy, and love of the young. Otters remind us to keep the inner child alive or to give birth to it. They remind us that life can be fun if we approach it with the right attitude. Otters are seldom seen alone. They are either with others or playing with some object. The adult otter has practically no natural enemies. They protect their young very well. They are agile and fast in the water, with the ability to outswim fish. If there is a threat, they usually swim away fast, but they can be ferocious fighters. The mother otter usually chases the father out of the den when the youngs are born, again reflecting the otter's tie to primordial feminine and mothering energies and patterns. When the young are out and about, the father is allowed to rejoin. Usually, two or four young are born, but they must be taught to swim. This task is handled by the mother. Sometimes otters show up to help awaken the primal mothering energies and responsibilities. It can indicate a need to set up your boundaries within the home and define your feminine role. Otters are extremely agile and acrobatic in the water. They love to slide on their bellies and dive in and out of the water. When underwater, the nostrils and the ears close. That's deep. Remember that water is an ancient symbol for the feminine and creative forces of life. And otter's activities and playfulness remind us all, male and female, that we all need the feminine qualities in some form for the greatest joy in our life. If otter has surfaced in your life, it may be some it may be time to find some playtime. Involve yourself in some creative activity. You do not have to be God or good at it. Just have fun with it. Or are you being too playful? Are you not staying focused? Are you afraid to have fun? Are you getting too serious? Are you worried? Do you need to awaken your inner child? Treat yourself to something special. Honor others, and it will teach you not only how to have fun, but it will reawaken a new sense of wonder at life and all things within it. And that's where we'll pause. Animals speak. Learn the language of the animals, the spiritual and magical powers of creatures great and small. By Ted Andrews. Thank you so much for reading books with us. Thank you so much for the likes and subs. Man, I honor y'all so much. I honor being on this platform and reading to you guys. Just enjoying space, creating space for peace. I'm Archangel Uriel Neville Riley. That's what I was sent here to do. You know, that's what I was sent here to do. For my daughter's sake, for my sake, for my family's sake, for my friends' sake and say, I know him. That's how he is. Yeah. I've always had this platform. I always felt seen, I guess. You know, I was a super athlete, literally. I can do it, not just talk it. Not just speak about it. We shake it up in the world. Right? Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Divine energy. I just was gifted recently dove wings. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your love. Thank you for being a part of the honorable. I love I do. I love me. That's how you know. All my aunts and uncles. Man, I love you so much. Thank you for praying for me. Thank you for being here. Mystic Breeze. Peace, peace. Hi, it's Heart Love. I got on my swimming trunks. Yes, let's do it. Dive into the depths of the deep waters. I'm over here on the Pacific. Love all the way back over to the Atlantic. Peace, peace. I'll see you soon. Our purpose can be found in our names. You know it. That's right. That's right. Thank you for saying that and putting that in the chat. Thank you, Coco, so much. Putting it in the chat. Man, honor, yo. We did it again. This was a little bit longer. I told you I would go a little bit longer. Hey, as we continue, we know we have the power. Let's continue to heal ourselves and heal the others around us by giving them the truth, by telling them we love them. I love you. Hi, it's Heartland. I'll see you soon. Peace, peace.